Hello, my shining stars. Bonjour, buenos dias, guten tag, ni hao ma, namaste. Welcome to IFL-SC Global Academy. I'm Professor Marie, and today the program is just for you, my young girls, full of dreams, full of potential, if and even full of so many questions. And if you've ever wondered, can I really make a difference in life? Can I really make it? Well, the answer is yes, I can tell you that. You can make it. Today's episode is called My Story, Your Path 20 Years of Language, Science, and Girl Power. I want to tell you today that you can make it as a girl child, as a woman, if you have dreams and if you have ambition in life. But first, you know what to do. Tap at the subscribe button and then give us a thumbs up and share our videos so that we can inspire and aspire millions of girls across Africa and also across the world. So let's do that. So why do I do what I do? A lot of persons have been asking me in the comment section, why are you doing this? Well, my mission is simple in life, to serve God and to serve humanity, and I walk this path for you to follow. And I do that with what I call the GREAT agenda, GREAT. Gender, G for gender equality, R for reality into action, E for education and empowerment, A for action on climate, and T, very important, training for the future. This is what I do. This is my path. And guess what? This can also be your path. Now, today I'm honored to share a professional story, a story rooted in passion, in resilience, in service, in purpose. It's a story designed to inspire, it's designed to teach, to model what is possible, and when we commit ourselves to meaningful work. Aha. I'll be taking myself as an example because I started my career studying mass communication, gender studies, because I believe that girls' voices must be heard. That's my firm belief that if you're a girl, if you're a woman, your voice too must be heard. So I started with mass communication because I wanted that voice. I wanted my voice to be heard. And so from the very beginning, I understood the power of communication, not just to inform, but to transform lives. That's very key. And so later I continued, I went into translation and interpretation, which is still in line with communication. I got a master's degree in translation and interpretation, which opened my eyes even wider to the role of language as a bridge between cultures, systems, and people. Because as a translator, you make use of language to bridge cultures, to talk to people from one language to another. And so that was even very good for me. And then my academic path continued. I went into doing a PhD in international studies and French, a decision that was fueled by my desire to contribute to international development through language again, through gender, through public health, and through diplomacy. So that's all of that pioneering in biomedical translation. So you see that for the past 20 years or even more, I have worked at the intersection of all these things, the intersection of biomedical translation, intersection of gender, intersection of languages and communication, and even public health. So because of that, I went into a lot of research. I published over 30 peer-reviewed articles, journal articles, and these I've also written a lot of books, you know. I remember my first book was on learning modern techniques in business communication. My second book was on the intersection or intersectionality of language and biomedical translation. That was it. And then my third book was on French for tourism and hospitality. So you can see that I'm still at the intersection of those aspects in life. So I've always believed that science and medicine must be democratized through language. What do I mean by that? It means that people must understand the very systems that are meant to save their lives, as well as play a key role in it, in shaping those systems. And that can only be achieved through communication, through language, through letting people understand these systems that bring health to them. And that is the soul of biomedical translation. That's my area of specialization. Biomedical translation has to do with helping people understand science, understand those systems that have to do with saving their lives. Okay, and that's what I've been doing. And this aligns closely with what we do on this program. You know, we talk about all the time Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. And so it's really connected to particularly SDG 3, which has to do with good health and well being by translating health knowledge for all kinds of peoples on earth. It also has to do with SDG 4. You know that SDG 4 has to do with quality education because if you are looking at multilingual and inclusive learning tools, then you're also talking about SDG 4. Okay, and SDG 5 has to do with gender equity or gender equality by promoting languages and access for all women in healthcare. Then you're also talking about gender. So you can see that SDGs are at the core, are at the center of what we do and what I have been doing over the years. If we even look at SDG 10, which has to do with reduce inequalities, because by ensuring that health information is accessible to marginalized groups, then we have also made sure that SDG 5, we have reduced inequalities. Okay? Now look at SDG 17, that has to do with partnerships and goals. If we foster global and institutional collaboration, we have also achieved SDG 17, which has to do with partnerships and goals. So you see that languages, science, health, diplomacy, communication, they're all at the core of what we do, of my research for over the years. And this is closely linked to all these SDGs that we've seen. Now, one of the most defining moments of my career was when I delivered a lecture at the Queen's University in Belfast. That was on the 6th of September 2024. The lecture was titled Biomedical Translation, a Panacea for Bridging Development Gaps and Improving Global Health System Communication. That was a very powerful lecture that was not just an academic lecture, but it was also a call for action because that lecture summed up all my research work over the years. And that is really at the core of what we talk about on this program. So at the end of that session, of course, there was an award. I was formally recognized and all of that. But what's the role I played in biomedical translation, in foreign languages, in communication? And so that day reminded me that the work we do, especially in specialized fields, will always speak for itself. Leadership, service, and legacy beyond research and teaching will always pay at the end. So I want to tell you, you young girls, that when you have identified an area, you need to make sure that you learn and then you specialize in that specific area. You specialize in that area, you get the knowledge, and so that that can be your niche. They call it a niche. Okay, when you have that niche, you research, you write, you speak about it, and you learn more about it. And that becomes your area of specialty. Because if you don't have an area of specialization, you become a jack of all trades. That means you're just everything and nothing because you can never be everything. So you must always have an area. It could be a multi-sectorial area because these days there's a lot of talk about multidisciplinary research that people have to collaborate, just like what I do. I'm into languages, I'm into communication, I'm into public health, and I'm into translation. That's four disciplines in one. Okay, all of that together. You can do that actually. It's not difficult. You can also do that, but you can't do everything. So you have to be known and recognized for something. So beyond research, I have also served in some critical areas, sensitive administrative positions, such as director of the Institute of Foreign Languages and Biomedical Translation. I told you it still has to do with foreign languages, it has to do with translation, it has to do with biomedical. So I'm always within my scope of influence. And then I also become became the pioneer public relations officer of the Biomedical University. You see that it has to do with public relations. And public relations is what? Communication. It's still within my scope. And then today, I also serve as the SA to the Vice Chancellor, which has to do with administration. It also has to do with communication. It has to do with languages. It has to do with speaking. It has to do with leadership. So you see that I always try to maintain that thread. There was always a link or a thread that runs through my research, that runs through my progression, that runs through my academic or even administrative path. So that's very important. Now, when you have identified that and you have that niche and you're beginning to get into it, one thing you must be committed to is excellence, because you have to be committed to excellence in all your roles. You have to be committed to excellence. You have to be committed to transparency. You have to be committed to communication. You have to be committed to service. Very important, because you find a lot of young girls today. Yes, I aspire to be this. I aspire to hold position, but when it comes to service, they become a little bit. It's so tiring. It's so cumbersome. Oh, I don't want to do that. It's yes. You have to be ready to take up service. You have to be ready to take up commitment. Okay? So, because if you're serving under people who are very intellectually sound, who are experts in core areas, you must be able to step up your game so that you provide that needed service. For instance, serving today as the SA2 Vice Chancellor, who is a man of international repute. Remember, he's a time honored honoree. I mean, one of the most important 100 persons in the world. That's the Vice Chancellor itself now. And it's also nature's top 10 scientists. Now, if you want to serve that kind of a person as a woman or as a young girl, and you have to continue learning. And that's what I do every day. I continue learning because I know that I have a lot to learn from him. And I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to be humble. I'm ready to work and even work hard so that you can serve and serve better. Okay, those are very important aspects you should always remember. If you're serving, if you're learning, or if you're aspiring to grow and make a name in your career or in your profession, that's very important. Another thing I would like to tell you about our girls and ladies is the importance of modeling or mentorship. As I am a mother, I am a leader, I'm an academic, I'm an African woman, I understand how important it is for young girls, for women to see their own reflection. That's what they call visibility and mentorship. It's important for young girls to reflect themselves in me. So, and I'm humbled that my life service serves as a mirror and as a model to many young people today, be they girls or boys or women, especially girls and women, because that's where I have passion in that one. Those of them who lack role models in specialized fields, I always want to volunteer myself to step up for me to be a reflection, someone they can identify with, they can see. Because it's very important. If you're a young girl and you aspire to succeed, you have to identify somebody. You have to see a role model. Who do you want to emulate? Who do you want to be with that looks kind of like you? It could be a woman, it could be an African, it could be black or whatever. It's very, very important. And so I tell every young girl, every young boy, every woman, and every person, even you watching this, that you too can rise. You have to identify someone you want to be with. You can excel. You can be a leader in your field, in science, in translation, in communication, in whatever field that you want to, in computer, in medicine, okay? Because those efforts can definitely pay. Now, let me say thank you to all of you. I want to say thank you for a lot of women who have served as that mirror for me, because I didn't just get here like that. I had people who stood in front of me who I could project my life. I could see what they have done. I could see what who they are, and I wanted to be that way. I've always wanted to be like my mother. She's my first role model. I've always dreamt to be like her. because she projected what I wanted to be in society. My mother, Nga Bengue Married. I want to say thank you so much for instilling in me the love for life, discipline, honesty, love for God, and all of that. Importance of hard work, the importance of patience, resilience, the spirit of pushing forward and research. Of course, my father, very important. My father really instilled in me what the love for books. He was a man that loved education and books, and that I got that from him. That was really pivotal for me to grow. And so many other. Okay, I remember there was a lady that inspired me so much. I want to call her name, Dr. Mrs. Dorothy Limunga Njoma. She was the first female vice chancellor in my alma mater, my university, University of Boya. And I remember at the time I used to look up to her. I never had opportunity to talk to her, but she was a role model for me by from a distance. So I still remember that her name up to this point. That's many, many, many years back. Dr. Mrs. Dorothy Limunga Njoma, a female vice chancellor. She was so effective and so the whole university looked up to her. And now that I look back, I see that she's one of those persons that played a role in me even dreaming to one day aspire. I remember the very first woman I grew up watching on TV. I don't know, that was maybe 1980 or so. I was in Cameroon at the time. I remember her name up to this point, Denise Epote. She was a presenter on TV, newscaster or something. I also remember Anne Sang Queen, Rose Mbole Epi, and many others. They were the first women. There were men too, but I remember the women because, you know, women are not always very visible in some very key sectors. And so once you see a woman emerge in that sector, those women are never forgotten. And that's why I'm calling their names today. Don't forget that. Oh, there's also a lady I remember, Mrs. Joan Obu. She was head of news, director of news, Bayelsa State Broadcasting Corporation. That's a woman who taught me the essence of journalistic writing. So perfect. In fact, I had gone to school, I was trained, I knew everything, but the art of writing itself was given to me as a gift by this woman, Dame John Obu. I've never forgotten that. So many other ladies I want to give a thumbs up. I won't forget our famous Professor Obi Ezekwesili. I've not met her anywhere, but she's a role model because as a woman, she stands out there. I remember Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, whom without seeing, I've not seen her face to face, but because of her global leadership, because of the fact that she's giving women hope that they too can aspire to get to that position. We remember her today. I remember Oprah Winfrey, which we all grew up watching her on TV, as a woman who's made impact, also a global figure, as a media mogul. So you can see that all these people, one way or the other, have impacted so meaningfully in my life. They've been a gift, helping me to pursue excellence with humility, okay? Helping me to pursue that knowledge that will transform lives. So that's one thing I want to encourage you to do as young ladies out there. You need to identify those people in your area that can become cherished, that can become role models, and that will inspire you, okay, to also grow higher. So I've been a girl just like you, curious, sometimes shy, but always determined. So that's what I want you to know, young girls, that your voice matters, your dream is valid. You can study science, you can learn languages, you can change the world, you can do whatever, you can be an engineer, a pilot, you can lead with integrity, with purpose, with faith in God. The world is waiting for your light. Okay, so I want to say heartfelt thank you to you, to all of you, to all the mentors of this world, all the teachers of this world, all the friends. Thank you very much. And to every girl child who thinks she is not enough, please stop. You are enough. Always remember that you are enough. And those of them that are doubting you, you have to work hard, okay, to prove them wrong, okay? Because when people doubt you, when people fight you, when people hate you, they give you that platform to prove them wrong. So you have to be stronger, you have to be great. So on this platform, IFL-SC Global Academy, we make it for you. We made it a special one for you because we are here to talk to you about leadership. Okay, so to you, my young girls, it's your turn to shine. We've given you the platform on IFL-SC Global Academy. We are here for you. We would like to encourage you to step into leadership, to step into girl power, to step into science, whatever field you think you can step into, so that you can build yourself, build your environment, build Africa, and build the world. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share this video with your girls, if you have daughters, if you have sisters. It's your turn to shine on this platform, IFLC Global Academy. This is a platform for you. We talk about leadership, we talk about girl power, we talk about science. We build leaders for Africa and even beyond. So you too can be a leader. Build your environment, your society, build Africa, and build the world. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video. If you have female friends, you have sisters, you have classmates, you have a mother, you have neighbors, what I mean, whoever you think this can benefit, to help them build themselves so that our girls can rise to knowledge. Believe in your gift, pursue knowledge, stay kind, stay strong, and remember your journey of purpose has already begun. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.